Hey everybody, it's Zach from Myshire Farm, and we're back again today with another video to help you on your journey with Coturnix quail and becoming more self-sufficient. In this video, we are going to be discussing quail math. I am very excited about it. I hope you are as well, because today we're going to be talking about food consumption. We're going to talk about how much it costs to raise a Coturnix quail to butchered weight. We're going to talk about how much it costs to feed a family of 4 with Coturnix quail. We're going to talk about how many you should start with or have, and I'm very excited about it. And at the end of this video, we're also going to be discussing one of the best tips and tricks that I can give you to be as successful as possible with raising Coturnix quail. So I hope you stay tuned. I do believe that this video is very timely, as I have some news articles that I really want to show you, and it's very important, and I'll explain why in just a second. Check these articles out. That's some scary stuff. Not only is that scary, but in all of those articles happened within the past 2 weeks. And those are just some of the examples that Ed, my moderator here on YouTube, sent me this past week. And that is some really scary stuff. We moved here at Myshire Farm because of this alone. We watched Food Inc. and we really wanted to take more of a control over what we eat and how we eat it. We wanted to raise it for ourselves, and we wanted to become more self-sufficient. And we really do believe here at Myshire Farm that Coturnix quail is an amazing source of meat and eggs, and you know how they're being raised, you know what they're eating, and it really gets you involved and gets you motivated to do more. So hopefully this video will help you a lot. We're going to do a lot of numbers for you and show you how beneficial these little quail are. So first and foremost, let's talk about food consumption. Food consumption is very important for me because here at Myshire Farm, we have 6,000 quail at all times, which means it's a revolving door. We have grow outs, we have new breeders, we have new males, we're selling, we're doing this, some die, some this, some that. So we always have a lot of quail, and I go through over 8 tons of feed a month. I will say that again because it's still mind-blowing. We go through 8 tons of feed a month. So food consumption is very critical for me and my business. So we did these numbers, we did this equation, we did this math when we first got quail. We've done this twice a year, every year since we started. We just finished up the last one, and the number has never changed, not even by 0.01. It's never changed. So from day-old chick to butchered weight is 2.65 pounds. Now, here's a little asterisk and a side note. We recommend that you butcher at 8 weeks old. Now, you will get a lot of different opinions, and that's between 6 weeks and 12 weeks. And there's no wrong answer. It's whatever you want to do. But we do 8 weeks, and we recommend 8 weeks because the food consumption and the cost behind it to raise from 8 to 10 weeks is just not worth that little bit of extra weight that they add on. It's just not worth it to us. So keep that in mind, but you can do whatever you want. There's no wrong answer, but for this equation and for this math, we're doing butchered weight at 8 weeks old. So from day old chick to 8 weeks old, they consume 2.65 pounds of feed. Now that's important. But what's more important is the cost, because if feed was free, we wouldn't care. It's the cost behind it that matters to us, right? So let's do some math. So we're going to do our math, but we're going to give you the equation so you can do your own numbers. So a 50-pound bag of starter grower feed for us costs us $19. Okay? Now, substitute your 19 real quick with whatever number you pay for your feed. But if we wanted to find out how much it costs us to raise a quail, we're going to do that how much per bag, so $19 or whatever yours is, and we're going to divide that by 50 because we want to know how much it costs per pound. Well, if you do 19 divided by 50, that comes out to be 38 cents a pound. Great. But that still doesn't tell me too much, so let's dive in a little bit more. So we're going to take those 38 cents and we're going to multiply it by how much they consume to butchered weight, which again is 2.65 pounds. So we're going to do 0.38 times 2.65. And that will equal how much it costs us to raise a Coturnix quail to 8 weeks old. And if you've done the math already, I'm sure you're shocked, but it's $1. It's $1 and that's it. So from day old chick to 8 weeks old, a Coturnix quail only costs $1 to raise, which is fantastic. Not only that, but you know what you're feeding it, you know how they're being raised, and you're doing it. So that's why we really love Coturnix quail. Now, let's break that down and what that means. So we're going to do a family of 4, okay? So we're going to do 2 adults and 2 kids. So on average, and we're using the law of average, and the law of average states, according to Google, the outcome over a period of time will equal out to the probability. And really all that means is eventually it's all going to average out. And that's what it does, right? So a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 kids, on average, the adults are going to eat 2 quail each. It's hard words. I don't know what my problem is. I'm sorry. But the adults are going to eat 2 quail each. The kids will eat 1.5 quail. So they'll eat 1 each and then split 1, usually. So that means that for a family of 4, you need 7 quail for a meal. Well, that's $7. So if you eat quail twice a week, 2 meals, it's $14 for your entire family for your meat source. That is fantastic. And again, you know what you're feeding it and you know how they're being raised. So keep that in mind because that, to me, is priceless. So it only costs $7 for your meat source for a family of 4 for Coturnix quail. And I think that's very, very beneficial. Now, how many you should start with and how many to keep you sustainable, right? What we're going to do is we're going to give you the math to figure out what works best for you. Because some people are just, they're one person. Some has a family of 4. Some has a family of 12. Some has a family of 2. Whatever the case may be. So we're just going to give you the law of average on some eggs. And then you can do the math to figure out what best suits you and how many you should start out with. And then I'm going to give you a different example and show you how critical it is for one aspect of raising quail. So stay tuned. If this is helpful or beneficial so far, hit the like button, support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. So let's say you order a 50 count of eggs, okay? We're going to send 60 of them. Now we guarantee a minimum of a 50% hatch rate, or we'll reship you. And it doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter if it's the incubator, which remember, incubators, that's right, incubators lie, that's right, or a shipping issue, or power outage, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. We're going to make sure that you are taken care of. So we guarantee a minimum of a 50% hatch rate. And that's not fertility, that's hatch. How many hatched out, okay? So out of those 50 eggs, we're going to assume 50% hatch rate, which gives you 25 chicks. Out of those 25 chicks, with the law of average, that means 12 hens and 13 males. Okay, you with me so far? So that means that you're going to have 12 hens and 3 males in your breeding program. So now you're going to have a little breeder set, and that's 12 hens and 3 males, which leaves you 10 extra males to butcher, which is close to 2 meals for that family of 4. Okay? So that's kind of the math that you want to think of. Like, how many do I need, right? Now, here's a different way to think about it. You order the same amount of eggs, 50 count, all right? And we're going to send 60. Now, our average hatch rate on shipped eggs for the year is 75.65%. So let's do that number instead of the 50% guarantee. That leaves you 38 chicks. So you just went from 25 chicks to 38 chicks, which means you're going to get 19 hens and 19 males, right? So that means you're going to have 19 hens and 4 males in a breeding colony, in a breeding cage, and which will give you, what, seven extra hens, which will give you about 5 to 6 extra eggs a day just by getting a better hatch rate. That leaves you 15 extra males, which is more than 2 meals for the family of 4. So my tip here is that the incubation process can save you so much money if you just get that better hatch rate. So remember that incubators lie. Remember that if you're gonna spend money on something, it's probably that incubator is gonna save you a lot more money than anything else that you can purchase with your Kidturnix quail journey. And the incubation process is very, very important because on the same amount of eggs, you went from 25 chicks to 38 chicks in the same amount. You bought the same amount of eggs, but you hatched out so many more. So I just want you to think about that. And a couple of tricks and tips to help you with a good hatch rate. I've done a video on this before, but make sure that you get a thermometer, hygrometer. We recommend the Govee. It's in our Amazon store. You can check it out. It's in the description. We really recommend that one, but whatever it is, make sure that you're balancing that, make sure that you're checking the incubator with the inside thermometer, hygrometer to make sure that it's reading correctly. Always ask for help. If you're on day 16 and none have hatched and you don't see any pipping, reach out to me. My number will be in the description because I get a lot of people that ask for help, even that don't purchase from me. They'll call me on day 18 or 19 and I can probably get a couple of them to hatch for you, but we're really late in the game. So by day 16, reach out to me and let me help you get the best hatch rate as possible, whether you purchase from me or not. I don't care. I just want you to succeed. Okay. But that was my tip and trick. And I'll make sure that my contact information is in the description, but it's so vital that the incubation process goes well because that sets you up for a whole different program. And we're going to go into that more in a different video. The next video we're going to do is quail math for eggs. We're going to talk to you about how much it costs per egg per day and how many you need for your family and so much more. So I hope you stay tuned. I hope you like this video and I hope you subscribe because we got some great videos coming your way. Thank you for watching and we'll see you next time. And like always, stay safe.